Bienvenidos.
Welcome to episode number 7 of Yes.
Pero no.
Thanks so much for being here. And today we have a very, very hot topic to talk about in our podcast. We have a few. So get ready, get your favorite beverage and favorite blanket, or however you like to listen or watch our podcast, and let's jump right into it. So the first topic that we have to talk about is Princess Catherine Middleton. She has been supposedly missing. No one has seen her since Christmas, and we need to talk about it and get you up to date to what we know.
We're also going to be talking about an MI5 retired agent that reveals his truth on his deathbed. Claro, now esto es verified.
We'll see. And last but not least, we are going to talk about a solar eclipse that's going to happen in our lifetime very soon, and we're going to catch you up to date on that. Okay, let's start. We are going to talk about Miss Kate Middleton, Princess Catherine. She hasn't been seen since Christmas time, December 25th, 2023. We are going to look at what we know that we think we know for sure. I want to go through a timeline with you guys because it is so much that has been happening and it is just so weird. We know that King Charles is sick and he has been diagnosed with cancer. He's not looking well health-wise. And we also know that Kate hasn't been seen and she has had a supposed surgery. There's just other things that have happened that are so confusing. This news is all over television. It is on social media. And if you haven't found out, we're going to give you the facts, or at least what we think are the facts on the timeline on what has happened in the last 2 to 3 months. So let's start. Now, I'm going to show you a visual, but I'm also going to be talking over what you're seeing visually. Okay, so I am going to be seeing the video on my phone because we're going to be looking at a timeline, Joe and I. We've got our laptops ready so we don't mess any dates up for you. So here's what we know, okay? Aquí está la información de lo que está pasando con la princesa Caterina Middleton, que es la señora o la mujer de el príncipe William, Prince William. Y les vamos a dar información de lo que ha estado pasando. No la hemos visto, la han operado, está viva, no está viva, ¿qué es lo que pasa? Nadie la ha visto. Vamos a hablar de la fecha, de lo que ha pasado desde después de las Navidades en diciembre del 2023. Okay.
Detective Christina and Joe investigating.
Exactamente. Okay. So how everything starts is September 12th, 2023. Kate has some kind of finger injury that she states that it happened while she was jumping on a trampoline, supposedly, with her kids. And so she is seen on the 12th of September with some bandages on her fingers. Okay. October 5th, 2023, 3 weeks later.
Kate is pictured with her fingers still bandages.
Right. So, I mean, it must have been a pretty rough trampoline injury if for 3 weeks you're still with bandages, but okay. So then from October 5th, we're going to jump to 22nd of December. So December 22nd, 2023, Kate Middleton and Prince William announce an official trip to Italy that is scheduled for early 2024. Now, if you're planning major surgery for early 2024, you wouldn't announce a trip at the same time.
Okay.
So on December 25th of 2023, Christmas Day, that was the last time that Kate Middleton was verified to be seen. The 3 kids were there with them. They celebrated there. They usually go to Sandringham for Christmas, the royal family. So they were all there for Christmas Day. We're going to jump to January 17th. Now that's about 2.5 weeks later, more or less. So Kate Middleton was admitted to a London private hospital undergoing planned abdominal surgery that was described as successful.
Supuestamente.
So the palace doesn't say Kate's exact location, but they're choosing to keep her diagnosis private. In a previous podcast, I had read that she had had a hysterectomy, which I thought, wow, she's a young woman. You know, I know she's had 3 kids, but whatever, anything could happen. You can have a fibroid, whatever. But it seems like that is not confirmed. So they kept the diagnosis private, and they did say that she's likely to stay in the hospital for 2 weeks. And they said all of her engagements were canceled until after Easter. Now, Easter is March 31st, okay? So we're not there yet. So she was in a hospital called the London Clinic, we find out. During those 2 weeks, something very interesting did not happen. There were no reports from her parents, her brothers and sisters, any of her siblings, or her children visiting her at the hospital. Now, you had surgery. It must be a pretty big surgery for you having to stay for 2 entire weeks, and you don't have visitors from your family.
Sí, está rarito.
That's a little weird because you know that these people, all of these paparazzi and everything that's happening, especially in the UK, they are on it. They are on everything. I mean, they are dedicated to this.
So isn't that the same day that it was announced that King Charles was going to be treated for a benign prostate condition the following week?
Exactly. So on that day, I remember being on Instagram and I follow them. And it was like Kate Middleton, she had to have planned surgery. And later on, a few hours later, we hear about King Charles with the issue of being treated for a benign prostate condition.
Bueno, on January 18, according to what we have investigated, the day after the surgery, Prince William's visit the London clinic, and it was the first and the last time he was known to visit. She was allegedly going to be in the clinic for 2 weeks.
So I imagine being in the hospital for 2 weeks and your partner only goes to see you one time. That also is odd, but okay. Let's take it all in. Now let's jump to January 24th. The UK papers report that the inner circle of the Wales were shocked to hear about Kate's surgery and that they weren't aware of any health issues. Okay?
Esa gente que se enteran de todo, even if una mosquita flies by.
Right. Okay,
Por
so
favor.
that's what reportedly, that's what they're saying, that the inner circle was very shocked to hear that she needed this planned surgery when they had planned a trip to Italy.
Then January 26, King Charles reported visiting Kate at the hospital, but still not known visits from her kids, her parents, and her siblings.
Exactly.
O sea, ¿quién va a tener una cirugía?
Exactly.
You're not going to have, bueno, at least si eres latino.
Exacto. No, pero en general.
You have your room full of
Y
people.
como ves, se ve Charles, coming out with Queen Camilla. It's so hard for me to say Queen Camilla because I still kind of not like her all that much because of everything with Princess Di, but whatever, I know. That's just me. And a lot of other people. So January 28th, which is 2 days after King Charles and Camilla visit, Spanish journalist Concha Calleja, a lot of you guys have heard of her, okay? She is a renowned, basically reporter from Spain. She claims that Kate Middleton is in an induced coma after her surgery and she cited unnamed palace sources.
So the next day, I could see that January 29th, 2024, Kensington Palace claims that Kate was discharged from the London clinic to continue recovery at home.
At this point, Kate hasn't been seen publicly in over 35 days. There are no photos, no videos of her exiting the London clinic whatsoever. On February 1st, the palace aides, they slam the Spanish journalist story, which is a bit odd because honestly, they barely comment on any rumors, but they went against
Very defensive.
Yeah. What the reporter Calleja is saying, and they just slam her.
Then on February 5th, King Charles announced his cancer diagnosis, but it doesn't say what it is or how bad it is. On the same day, UK Magazine published an article which said that Kate's recovery will now be 9 months, not 3.
I mean, a recovery from a surgery, an abdominal surgery for 9 months. I mean, you know a little bit more about medicine than I do. What possibly could that be?
I don't know.
I've seen people have hysterectomies. It takes a couple of months.
It could have been that they have to go in again and there's some type of internal hemorrhage or other kinds of complications or findings. They probably went to do something and they find something else. So that could be also
okay, so this is just speculation. We don't know.
Yeah.
But what we do know is that they announced the cancer diagnosis. A UK magazine, they published the article, like you said. Instead of 3 months, it's going to be 9 months. Now, February 7th, Prince Harry leaves LA and he jets to London for a quick visit with his father, King Charles, and it lasted a whole 45 minutes. Now, Queen Camilla, he also visited the king a number of times. Do you know who didn't visit the king? Prince William, nor did he issue any kind of public well wishes, which is not the norm. Usually in these kind of cases, the prince will do the well wishes and all of that and visit. but he didn't.
So on February 9th, reports emerged that Kate is on the mend and has left Windsor to continue recovery in Sandringham. ¿En? ¿Cómo se dice?
Sandringham.
In Sandringham.
Are you guys following this? Because this is, I did this, I took the time because you guys need to know.
Esto es un arroz con mango.
Esto es un arroz con mango,
Okay.
lo que está pasando allá. Que hay que ver los specifics so that you guys can help us, I guess, like predict what is going on because there has never been so much madness. Well, when Princess Di did pass, that was crazy. That was really, really crazy. And there was a lot of confusion and emotions around that. And I think that people that lived through that, like myself, I was so involved when that happened. It shocked the entire
because
world.
Of who she was.
Who she was, and also her kids are my Joey and Jesse's age. So just to know that those kids were being left without a mom, it impacted me in such a way that I remember getting up. I believe her funeral was going to be seen on live television here in the States. And I woke up at 3 or 4 in the morning to see it. It was on, I believe it was a weekend if I look back. And I remember Joey was little and he woke up and he came to my bed to see it. And it was so impactful. I mean, I cried just seeing those boys, you know, just walking behind her
It was
in
a
the
very
coffin.
sad moment
It was
worldwide.
so sad,
Very
just
sad.
generally. And also confusion and anger because, you know, supposedly paparazzi had done that. And there's just a lot of different stories that people have come up with through the years. So it strikes a chord that feels very uncomfortable in me and in a lot of people. It's like, where is Kate? Like, what is going on? Why isn't she giving her face? Is something else going on that they're not telling us? Because like you said, there's a lot of hush-hush in that family. Let me keep going because I start getting emotional.
Pero puede pasar, like I mentioned to you, you know, they probably went in to do a surgery, things got complicated, or they find something else, and then ahora, imagínate tú, how do we tell the world?
How do we tell the world and then what's going on?
Yeah.
It's obvious that King
It's
Charles is not
complicado.
well. Okay, he doesn't look well. You know, there's a lot of different things like in the past that they showed his hands and his fingers all swollen, right? So he's not the perfect picture of health.
And what would happen if in the event that they found something else, que es something, you know, terminal, you know, what's going to be the outcome of that? I mean,
Or
it
even
will
if it's
shake
not,
the
like let's
entire
say the
world.
reporter Callejo is saying she's in an induced coma. If that is the case, and we have a king that is possibly, you know, going to pass, then we have Prince William needs to take control of the throne, right? And then his wife, this is going on. It just causes a lot of confusion and it doesn't show a face of like this stableness that obviously the country wants. And us being outside of the UK, for us that are, a lot of us are obsessed with knowing what's going on, you know, with the crown. Okay. February 20th, Prince William puts out a statement on a joint social media that he has with Princess Catherine. And the statement has his own monogram, okay? So it has the monogram with the W, if you guys see it here. I'll read it quickly, just the beginning of it. I remain deeply concerned about the terrible human cost of the conflict in the Middle East since the Hamas terrorist attack on the 7th of October. Too many have been
terminated.
Unalived. I, like so many others, want to see an end to this fighting, Okay, he does not mention Kate anywhere in the statement, and obviously Kate is recovering. People are worried about her, what's going on, but the monogram, it's a W. And that is the one that he used to use before he married Kate. So he's using that one again. In the little details, sometimes it says a lot, okay? We may be wrong. I'm just telling you the facts. This is the one that was used.
Okay, so on February 27th, Prince William canceled his appearance and reading at his godfather's memorial service in the last minute, citing personal reasons. And at the same time, he says that Kate is doing well. It's a big deal for the future king of England to pull out an event like this at last minute and also just add on that his wife, it's okay. It's fine.
Exactly. And now at this point, it had been 9 weeks since Kate and their children had been seen publicly. Not only Kate, but the children haven't been seen either. And that just didn't pass the online smell test, okay? Something was fishy. And so the next day, on February 28th, the hashtag that says, "Where is Kate Middleton?" started to trend on social media.
Sí, porque la gente started to say, hey, what's really going on in here?
Exactly.
We need
And
to
so
know.
Prince William doesn't go to his godfather's memorial. And it was just a memorial. It wasn't the funeral. But this man is his godfather. And he cancels like 45 minutes before he was due to be there. That is not normal for them, okay? They have their schedules drawn out. So something obviously happened. This was February 27th. Now, let's see this a second.
I think it's time I brought up the Thomas Kingston connection. This is Lady Gabriella Windsor. Her parents are Prince and Princess Michael of Kent, who, if I remember correctly, are first cousins to Queen Elizabeth II. But they're close family member wise. They're just not as active royals. This is her husband, British financier Thomas Kingston, who was tragically found dead in February at his parents' home in England. It should be noted that he, way back when, I think it ended in 2011, was seriously dating Pippa Middleton, who is the sister to the Princess of Wales, who is married to Prince William. The day that Thomas Kingston was found unalived, this was a headline. Prince William pulls out of memorial service for godfather due to personal reasons, Palace said. His godfather was King Constantine of Greece, right? This wasn't a funeral for King Constantine. It was a service of Thanksgiving, which is sort of like a celebration of life. Lady Gabriella Windsor Kingston was also his godchild. This is People magazine. Although Prince William dropped out of attending the service on Tuesday due to personal reasons, it is understood that the absence was not connected to Kingston's death, which happened to be discovered the same day. I'm a fan of political intrigue and, maybe I have a wild imagination, but I just think it's odd.
So there are some theories that are happening. All of a sudden, he says 45 minutes before he's due to speak and to actually say some words at the memorial for his godfather. For personal reasons, he said he's not going. Thomas Kingston, he's the ex-boyfriend of Pippa Middleton, and that is Kate Middleton's sister. Of course, now he's married. Pippa and him broke up years ago, but he passes on February 25th. Okay. And the cause of death was determined to be self-inflicted. So it was a traumatic head wound. Multiple outlets reported on this on March 1st, and this happened at his parents' home in the Cotswolds. And a gun was found near his body. Okay?
Wow.
So that's what happens there. Now, Joe, take over. What is the next thing on the timeline?
The day after the hashtag started trending, which it was February 29th.
Yes.
Kensington Palace released a statement addressing the online rumors. A spokesperson for the Princess Kate said, "We were very clear from the onset that the Princess of Wales was out until after Easter, and Kensington Palace will only be providing updates when something was significant." The spokesperson reiterated that the princess was doing well.
So as far as how they're saying it, it's like we were very clear from the onset that the Princess of Wales was out until Easter. It was like doubling down. I hear a little bit of attitude in that statement. Mm-hmm. It's like, didn't we tell you guys what was going to happen? Why are you questioning now? I know from what I've seen, and I believe that not only, Prince Harry, which actually left his responsibilities with the crown, he took Meghan Markle, and they are actually living in Los Angeles now. So he left all his royal responsibilities and resigned to all of that because he just couldn't take that situation anymore. Mm-hmm. So he's very protective of his wife, but I believe that Prince William is too, or at least I thought, right? So let's just say, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he's just being protective of his wife and is trying to quiet down and not be saying, listen, we already told you that she's not going to be appearing until after Easter. Like, why are you guys?
He can find other ways
to say it.
To say it para que la gente pare de joder. But what it's creating is more intrigue.
That's the problem.
On what's going on, porque la gente dice, 2 plus 2 is not 4 here.
Yeah, esto está muy raro. Las cosas que están ocurriendo están un poquito raro.
Está funky.
Y otra cosa, esta mujer, Princess Catherine, cuando ella tiene sus babies, ¿ok? Ella sale del hospital al día o al par de días. Esa mujer está vestida to the T. Ella es una mujer muy fina. She's very meticulous. Tú me vas a decir a mí que si esa mujer está bien, se está recuperando and everything is fine, ya ella no hubiera salido, ya algo no hubiera pasado.
And it will stop what's
It
going
would
on right
stop
now.
it right away.
Pero cuando no están diciendo algo es porque algo heavy
O ella no puede
it's
aparecer.
happening, behind the scenes. Yeah.
You know, some people have said, bueno, a lo mejor ella le tuvieron que hacer esta cirugía y tuvieron que ponerle like a bag or something to feed her, and she doesn't want to appear like that in front of people. That's something that could
Or
be...
like I said, they found something else.
Or
and
something
they don't want to
else.
say, I hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too.
Porque es
Ella
bien
es joven,
triste.
ya,
bien
es
triste.
triste.
And they don't know how to manipulate, the whole situation. Entonces ahora todo eso está fuera de control. And trying to minimize the
Crowd control.
situation.
Sí, apagar los fuegos.
Yeah, it has created más fuego todavía.
Tratan de apagar un fuego por aquí, ya hay humo
Se
y
ha
fuego
puesto
por aquí.
peor.
Exacto, se ha puesto peor.
It's
Ok,
worse.
vamos a seguir. El 4 de marzo, March 4th, a photo of a seemingly Kate Middleton in a car being driven by her mother in a black Audi near Windsor Castle, and it's safe to say that Kate looks a little different.
On March 4, this photo emerges. It's seemingly Kate Middleton being driven by her mum in a black Audi near Windsor Castle. And it's safe to say that Kate looks different, particularly her chin.
Do you think this person is this person?
Ahí la veo más hinchada. She looks swollen. And on top of that, it could be AI generated porque hoy en día es practically
esto
impossible.
se parece a su hermana, Pippa. Pippa looks a lot like her, pero no tiene el lunar aquí. In my opinion, the person that is being driven by her mother, that is not her. I mean, her face is different, her chin is different. I don't believe that that's her, personally.
Sí, pero hoy en día, like I said, it's practically impossible to know if it's true or not. Because with AI technology, I mean, they are making this, pictures que they seem to be real and they're not.
And they're not. Okay, but
So
I
es
think
bien difícil.
they would have made a better situation if it would have been AI.
Ahorita sacan otra. So 6 days later, March 10th, the royal account posted a picture. Oh boy, the caption read, "Thank you for your kind wishes and continued support in the last 2 months. Wishing everybody a happy Mother's Day."
And then it had her initials, C. So she actually signs off on this picture. It's a picture of her and the 3 kids. I think a lot of people have heard. If you haven't heard, this was posted. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, oh, okay, cool. She posted, so she's doing well.
So surely this was going to stop the madness and answer everybody's questions on Kate's whereabouts and health, right? I don't think so.
Wrong. So almost instantly, it became clear that this picture was edited. It was like not only edited, but it was like really, really edited. And it wasn't even edited very well. Major photo agencies that released the photo, they also noticed. They issued a kill notice because the source appeared to have been modified. So AP, which is the Associated Press, what that means, a kill notice by the Associated Press is like, kill the photo, don't use it, don't reproduce it on any magazine, any newspaper, because it's edited and it's not a real photo.
Bueno, ahí se activó, por supuesto, the PR team and went into overdrive con este tweet that was posted, the Prince and Prince of Wales.
Right, so that's the Instagram, the Prince and Princess of Wales, or the Twitter.
Y pusieron, like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day.
Signed C for
Otra vez.
Catherine. Now, she's been known to like photography. She does a little dabbling of editing here and there. I don't believe Catherine did this. But anyway, we're going by the facts. These were the posts. You guys interpret it however you think. So the internet went berserk with this whole thing, okay? That's when if the rice and mango, si el arroz con mango no estaba bien mezclado ahí,
Ya se
ahí
puso peor.
echaron de todo, aguacate, fruta bomba, y lo que hicieron ahí fue un congrí
Un batido.
de desastre,
Explotó.
okay? Theories went viral. Now they're thinking, what the heck is going on? Some people are even claiming that the image of Kate that was used for that picture was her face on the Vogue magazine cover that happened way back in 2016. Now, if you look at the Vogue magazine cover, her face, her expression, the whole thing, it's like you cut it out and you paste it on the photo that was used with her 3 kids, it's the exact same.
Bueno, this brings us to March 11th, 2024, where this vague paparazzi image, which shows William in a car next to someone, which may or may not be his wife, Kate Middleton.
Yes.
Kensington Palace is standing by the statement that Kate will return to her duties after Easter.
There's other pictures that have been seen that it's exactly that pose that she's doing like this that was used on there. It's just a picture that was seen. Now, whether or not this happens remains to be seen. Whether she's going to be out after Easter. Easter is just a couple of weeks away on March 31st. And one thing is for certain, this situation is a mess. And what's made it worse by the palace and their suspicious and their clumsy moves. It's like, if you want to have privacy, okay.
That's fine.
But,
That's respected.
Yeah, it's respected. Like, for example, King Charles is talking about his health. It's talking about the cancer diagnosis and all of that. Why? Because he's an active royal and he's in command. He's in the crown, and it's expected for him to talk about his situation. Wow. Okay? But Prince William, is kind of taking it back, is kind of showing up to the events without her. The paparazzi or the reporters are out there saying, hey, how is Kate? He's ignoring the questions. These things are happening, and it's just making people worry more and more and more. The bottom line is she has not been seen since Christmas. Imagine how many things have you done since Christmas. You could have had also a planned surgery, and you're already out and about and recovered by now. So we know that there's something more that's happening. We see the situation with this gentleman that...
There's a pattern that is going on here. The deception. That's what we're seeing here.
Yes.
On the statements, on the things that have been happening, on now the physical proof that we have with all these pictures where people are saying esto no es verdad, and there's something happening ahí adentro que no están diciendo exactly what's going on, and that's not all. Esto se complica aún más. It gets peor todavía.
Okay, I just wanted to do a quick voiceover as a little update as to the Kate Middleton situation. Now, it's all over social media that Princess Kate and Prince William have been spotted out and about for the first time since her surgery as she visits the farm shop with William. Now, the interesting thing is that supposedly this happened on St. Patrick's Day, which is March 17th, and they are truly into St. Patrick's Day. They have been known throughout the years to be out in celebration, to doing special celebrations for St. Patrick's Day, and they are not wearing green, which I thought was interesting. Also, no one in the background that was sitting in that video is wearing green, and no one seems to be turning around looking at them, which I thought was kind of odd. To me, the woman that is walking with Prince William looks younger. Her cheekbones are higher. This is just my opinion. They have been known to have doubles in the past. I am thinking maybe this is not them. And the reason why I'm headed towards that even more is because this was reported. The video was taken by TMZ, which is an American company. Interestingly enough, the BBC nor the Associated Press has reported on this outing at the farm shop. And then when I look at the video, it makes me doubt even more. Are they just doing this just to quiet us over here in America or in the world in itself? When you pause the video, you kind of look at it and say, I don't know. The forehead is a little different. Really, her skin just looks different. Her high cheekbone. I don't know, guys. I don't know. You guys be the judge. But just wanted to give this update as of right now of what we have, since we do record this podcast a few days before we actually post it. I don't know. This is all a bit odd, and I guess the truth is yet to be seen. Here are some things also that are being talked about. There is supposedly a rumored woman. Her name is Rose Hamberry, that they're saying it is rumored that Prince William is having an affair and has been having an affair with her for a really long time. You would think that Prince William, after having lived everything with his mom, Princess Diana, and his father, all the pain that she went through. We know that King Charles was in love with Queen Camilla since they were young. This obviously was an arranged marriage with him and Diana, and those are the things I personally don't agree with. Arranged arranged marriages because when you're not in love, you're going to seek the love that you're looking for, and then people get hurt. And you have children, and then those children get hurt. So after Prince William lived through all of that, you mean to tell me you're doing the same thing? It's so hard for me to believe that he is. But also, his brother, Prince Harry, did a book where it's called Spare, okay? And basically, he describes himself as the spare, and that's the term that they use for the person that's the spare to the crown. Meaning that if something happens to William, let's use the spare, and then he will be the king. And it's a really ugly term, in my opinion.
Una goma usada.
Es como, sí, it's like the spare tire, and I don't like it. But anyway, that's what they're called, I guess. And so he describes Prince William having a hot head. You know, Kate Middleton is the calmer one, the one that says, oh, okay, let's see how this works out. And he's the one that's a hothead, and he has, you know, los subidos así, the moodiness, you know, of having certain issues with anger. So I'm wondering, it makes me go back and think, okay, was that really a trampoline accident? You know, is he really cheating on her? So now we start thinking a bunch of crazy ideas. Are they true? Are they not? I don't know. The woman has not been seen. So there is something going on, and all of us that know about this now are dying to find out what's going on.
Sooner or later, esto es como una novela.
Eso va a salir. Efectivamente va a salir. ¿Qué es lo que nos van a decir? We don't even know what it is, the story behind it, what they're going to tell us. I am worried about her. I hope that she's doing okay, and we do wish her well. You know, prayers for her recovery. Hopefully she's still with us and everything is okay. I just don't like it. It just smells fishy, and I don't like it at all. So this is a good transition to kind of jump into something that Joe had found about an MI5, which is an agent to the crown. And I'm going to let him talk about it a little bit more because, you know, when you look online, they say, oh, no, this was known to not be true, blah, 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 blah. But this is what's said. And even this thing about William having somebody that he's having an affair with, what is that saying in Spanish cuando dice cuando el
río suena? Es porque piedras traen.
Okay? So it's like, ¿por qué decir que el hombre tiene otra mujer si no es verdad?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not even a thing. Like, I have never heard anybody talk about my husband having anyone else because he'd know I would... No, but what I'm saying is, you know, when there's nothing to talk about, people are not going to have those kind of rumors, you know, because, oh, that would be, that's not going to happen. But why are they having that rumor? Just that bothers me because it's like, it must be something.
Bueno, I mean, you never know. Pero de todos modos, this goes into the MI5 that you were mentioning it,
yes.
That they are sworn and protect the crown.
Yes.
And on top of that, the level of loyalty that requires to be in that position is extremely high. That means that no matter what they tell you to do, you have to do it. Now, we have this agent, supuestamente, that it's, not doing that well. And apparently...
It's like on his deathbed.
Yeah, his deathbed. And he's saying that at one point, he was ordered to terminate Diana. And that has created, imagínate, tremendo arroz con mango, because imagine that. I mean, we're talking about that apparently Diana knew a lot of the things that were happening in the palace, and she was, the kind of person that we knew she was, and she was going to open up to the world and let the world know what's really behind the scenes, and then they have to put her down, which is, imagínate tú. Claro, all of these are rumors, but on top of everything that is going on, when you hear things like this, then, it adds more fire into the whole situation, porque entonces ahora everybody is questioning the integrity of the palace, the way that they operate. Is it true? Tú sabes lo que está pasando allá adentro, so it's kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean, we got that information from a website that's called ciudadaniard.com. The man's name that Joe was talking about, his name is John Hopkins, an 80-year-old, and he says that he participated in 23 unalivings for the crown. He explains that the reason why he had to unalive the only woman of those 23, she knew too many secrets, and it wasn't going to be good for them.
The other thing is that, remember, in the event that this gentleman is actually saying the truth, the getaway story will be like, the guy is dying, he's on the medication, he's losing his mind, está hablando boberías, and then pass on the page.
And he worked for them for 38 years, it says, from 1973 until 1999.
So if he did what he's claiming to say that he did, imagine that. I mean, what would be the penalty?
That's what they said. It's like when he was asked, why didn't he refuse to do it? He said the agents of MI5, they swear,
Yeah,
to be loyal to the crown and
no matter what.
No matter what.
No
and
matter
to
what
not,
the orders.
to be impartial. It's like you got to do what the royal family is asking you to do without any questions asked.
See, but imagine that. I mean, to what point? These people are willing to protect the crown.
Yeah.
And do whatever they got to do.
Now, again, when I looked this up, I kind of did some fact checking. It says that this is absolutely a lie.
Terminate
that
their own
never
people.
happened.
Eso
That
es una
person
locura.
never said anything.
That's crazy.
But again, I am going back to cuando el río suena, piedras traen. When that river is making noise, how do you...
When the river makes noise, it's because it has
There's some
rocks
pebbles.
or
There's some
rocks.
little rocks making noise there. I wish we had a better way of saying that saying in Spanish, because in Spanish it's really cool. In English it sounds terrible. But anyway, that's one of the things that, it just makes you go, I don't know.
So we show you the facts that we find out, and
you
you guys
guys-
will be the judges.
Exactly. One of the last things I want to talk about, and I'm going to let Joe talk a little bit more about that, and then I'll kind of chime in. There's going to be a solar eclipse, not of the heart. Do you want me to show the video and then we talk about it? Good idea.
This is getting wild. The National Guard is going to be here now for the solar eclipse. This article today was released in an Oklahoma newspaper saying that they will have guardsmen present in McCurtain County for the solar eclipse. But things get much weirder. The 22 members of an elite chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear unit will be housed in Broken Bow, in addition to 110 to 150 Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers. They're also urging residents to stock up with 1 to 2 weeks of food in advance of the event and to have full fuel tanks. They're also saying that it's likely that communication facilities could be overloaded, possibly making it difficult to make cell phone calls. Similar warnings are going out in different states, including Noblesville Fire Department in Texas. And apparently schools are canceled this day, and people are going on Twitter writing statements like this: something strange is definitely happening. My kids in 3 different schools all got notices that school will be closed that day. What do you know about this solar eclipse?
Okay. First of all, anytime that there's a hurricane or tornado or something weird going on, this one starts to make frijoles, I start to make rice, I need to start making steak, chicken, whatever the case may be.
That's called activating the emergency system for
Activating the emergency food
Comida.
system, because there has to be jama when there is some kind of tragedy happening in the world.
Right.
So this is supposed to happen Monday, April 8th, 2024. La cosa está fea. Ok, pero ¿qué está pasando? Explícame.
Está pasando un eclipse, como pasaría en cualquier momento de la historia humana.
Ok.
This eclipse is going to go through Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania,
Wow.
New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Basically, está partiéndonos así como en 45 degrees. Some people believe that these are signs of an apocalypse.
Ay, Dios.
So a lot of people, of course, start promoting that on social media, creating panic y toda esa cuestión. Y todo esto lo que hace es que vuelve loco a todo el mundo.
Exacto.
So, I haven't confirmed anything that we have the National Guard tirado para la calle.
Pero yo voy a empezar a hacer los
And
frijoles.
then, but there's not a national crisis going on because of this.
Bueno, is it going to cause weather issues or anything like that?
Well,
that you
you're
know
gonna
of?
have any eclipse. It gives you temporary blockage of the sun, y va a haber un poco de oscuridad. You know how long
Pero
it's
eso es
going
lo
to
que
be.
dicen, que los teléfonos no va a trabajar y todo eso.
I don't know about that part.
No.
I mean, los teléfonos will not be functioning as usual because, of course, it's going to increase the amount of people calling 911 to find out, what's going on? Because a lot of people are not going to know about the
Entonces, ¿qué es lo que va a
eclipse.
pasar? Por ejemplo, para nosotros que estamos...
Lines could be overloaded because people are calling into the emergency
Ok,
services.
nosotros que estamos en Georgia, para aquellos que están en la Florida, que sé que muchos de ustedes en la
No,
Florida nos
ahí no
escuchan,
tiene nada que ver con eso.
vamos a tener oscuridad más tiempo, vamos a tener
it will not
weather
reach,
change.
It's not going to reach Florida. It's not going to reach Georgia. It's not going to reach Alabama. I mentioned the...
So no se puede ver o se va a poder ver desde aquí.
Well, I do not know. You will have to be looking west to be able to see si va a estar pasando esto and how, no sé hasta qué ángulo you're going to be able to see. I have no idea. I'm not an astrologist.
Yo creo que mientras más pase el
I am not an
tiempo, vamos a saber
astronomer.
un poquito más. Maybe para el próximo episode, we might have some more information. Or, once it happens, we might be able to say, okay, aquí no pasó absolutamente nada, pero comimos riquísimo. I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, with any event, current events that we faced, that you believe is going to be stirring up the nation some way, somehow, okay, people may say it's an alien invasion y todas esas cosas, just in case, always be prepared.
¿A quién le puede decir que va a pasar algo así? Todo el mundo se vuelve loco, everybody goes out, que si a comprar comida, toilet paper,
yeah, that's something I really don't understand. Why people buy an excessive...
Because people get stomach aches. They get diarrhea. They need a lot of toilet paper.
So just be prepared. Now, let's talk a little bit about the moon. Things that I know that I can share with you guys.
Yes.
A lot of people do not know that the moon, it's not a planet, it's not a star, it's a satellite. People say, what are you talking about? Yeah, the moon is a satellite because it travels in orbit around planet Earth. That's why it's a satellite.
So the sun is a satellite too?
No, the sun is a star. That's the closest star we have to planet Earth. And not a lot of people know that either.
Okay.
There's the sun.
So what is the difference between the star, the moon, and the sun?
The sun is a star. It has gas, emits light.
Okay.
Emits heat. And the moon, it's not. A moon, it's a satellite. It's a leftover from the creation of planet Earth. It became a satellite because of the orbit, and then, rotates around the Earth.
I am obsessed with the moon. As a matter of fact, for my small business, I named it La Luna Glow Candles. I feel like the moon definitely has an impact on me. Like, I just love it. I feel energized by the moon.
I'm going to explain to you.
And also, I want you to talk about women when they are pregnant and they're about to go into labor. A lot of women activate the labor when the moon is full, and it's not a hocus pocus or anything like that. It's just a
science.
It's a scientific thing that the moon actually, draws the tide, and that, that pressure. ¿Viste? Estás impresionado.
So because let me explain.
Estás impresionado conmigo. Dime la verdad.
Because it's a satellite.
Dime la verdad.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So we have a lot of artificial satellites that we use for GPS. Okay, if not, we won't be able to use them in our phones. It gives us the exact location where we are. But we have, a natural satellite, which is the moon. So what the moon does, it changes the tides on the ocean. Remember that human beings are made, also with water. We have water inside our bodies. When the moon gets close to planet Earth, the tides increases. So it rises. The moon has an effect on human beings and also have an effect on the planet in general with plants, animals, and other things. Okay, so now you know the effects of the moon.
Now you know.
Yeah, now you know. So hasta aquí llegó. Yes, pero no.
Yes, pero no. Episode number 7. Thank you for being with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and make some comments down there. Let us know.
And share it.
Please share it with your friends as well. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Los amamos.
Au.
Au, au.